It's been raining for days in Arkansas, days and days, and as you can see, our yard is turning into a total mud hole. We usually park there when people come over to visit, and you can see the entire yard is beginning to look like that. Anyway, today is supposed to be the last day, and we've got tons of water everywhere. And hopefully tomorrow, I'm going down to Lowe's today and buy the wood necessary to make the raised beds to be put in the hoop house. I'm going to make 6 raised beds. They're going to be 6 feet long and 3 feet wide. And tomorrow the sun is supposed to come out and we'll start putting them together. Well, we have some good news to report on the educational front. Oh, Ethan, because he scored so high in his ACT test, has qualified for a university scholarship. It's called University Scholarship, beginning in the fall of 2015. At the University of Arkansas at Monticello. This is a full scholarship minus board. It's the residence and board and books. I guess he has to buy his own board and his own books. Now here's the breakdown on that. The University Scholarship. I wish he could have got, if he'd got one more point, he'd had the Chancellor Scholarship, which would have been full board and tuition and everything. But he wound up with the University Scholarship. But he has an ace in the hole. Being that he's a band member and attending the University of Arkansas at Monticello as a band member, he gets an additional scholarship of $2,500 a semester, which will more than cover his board at the university. But he has to stay in band, and of course he has to maintain a 3.0 average, grade point average, the entire time he's in college. So he did real well. Full scholarship minus board and books, but the board is taken care of by a second scholarship that he has been awarded from the University of Monticello, the band department. Today's the 14th of March, and Ethan and I, old buddy Ethan, my grandson, our next to youngest grandson, we're heading to Lowe's. We're going to pick up some wood. We're going to take it home, and that'll be what we build our raised beds out of. So we'll go ahead and pick this up in the Lowe's parking lot. Well, here we are at my neighborhood Lowe's. I really enjoy shopping at Lowe's. I've gone to Home Depot and I just can't relate to that outfit. I don't like the way the stores are laid out. Probably because I always shopped at Lowe's prior to going to Home Depot, you know, and it is laid out much differently. However, we're going to go in this section of the store, we're going to buy our wood and a few other things, and then we're going to come back out and load it up. Well, here's our wood aisle where I'll be looking for the type of wood that I need. Boy, I got tons of it here. Of course, it's not the best quality, but it'll take care of my needs as far as raised beds go. This is what we're going to be using for the walls all the way around in the raised beds. It's the privacy fence slats. They're only like $2 a piece. They're perfect. You put them side by side like this, and you get I think it's a foot. What's the width of this thing, Ethan? 6 inches, isn't it? Yeah.
5 inches.
Well, it's a little less than 6 inches, and that'll be perfect. You know, we'll probably put our compost up to about right in this area here. It'll work perfectly. You still have room to add compost later on. These are going to do the job. I need 36 of them. Well, there it is. 36 of these 6-foot long fence slats. 36, the best ones we could find. I saw a guy on YouTube who showed how to make these things using these fence slats. Quick, easy, and cheap, which is exactly what, you know, it fits the form of what I'm trying to do with this hoop house. We've got most of the stuff we need for our little hoop house. I picked up another one of these hardwood 3-foot pieces. I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half and put a point on it and be using it for the plastic. I had to wind up buying the 20-foot 100 feet long, and which is twice what I need, but you know what the heck, I can always cut it in half, roll it out and cut it in half and use it this year and next, because I don't think this stuff's going to last much more than 1 year. So that takes care of that. That stuff is not cheap. And we got all our fence slats, like I said. We also have the black ground cover. I don't know what they call this stuff. I don't even know what they call this crap. Stay green hardscape fabric is what it is. It'll go underneath the it'll cover inside of the raised beds, and then we'll put our compost on top of that, which we still have to buy. And I also got these right here. Now these are kind of neat. I saw a guy use this, use this. He used the plastic. Different guys on YouTube. I took a little bit from each. And the guy with the plastic, he was the sharpest guy, and he also had these right here. I'll take you around the hoop house to show you what these are for. Pretty neat, I thought. The sun is shining, the rain has stopped, and we're going to whip up some breakfast on the old Blackstone griddle. Oh, I have waited all winter to do this. I cannot wait. This survived the winter pretty good. I kept it covered with plastic and a couple layers of plastic with a tarp over the top. It did really well. But I really worked the surface over before the fall ended, which really helped. So right now I've greased it up, and we're going to do a little more seasoning on it. I'm just letting it cook and smoke. Fantastic. In Arkansas, it's not a good idea to be planting prior to the first week of April. The first week of April, once it's over with, the chances of a freeze are over. And I can't tell you how many times people have put in their gardens and everything's warm and nice, and all of a sudden, at the very end of March or the very beginning of April, a frost hits and kills everybody's garden. So they have to go back out and replant and buy all new, replant. So I'll be waiting until after the first week of April to actually start doing the planting, even though it's going to be in a hoop house. I don't want to take any chances, because it does, boy, sometimes we get some real cold snaps, unexpected. However, the potatoes I'm going to be planting in pots. They'll be under the ground, so by the time any cold snap comes and goes, they'll still be below the dirt. So shouldn't have any effect at all on the potatoes. But as far as, you know, seedlings and things like that I'll be putting in the raised beds, we're going to have to wait just a little while longer. Now once the plastic is draped over the top of the hoops, in the summertime it'll get pretty hot underneath there, you know, especially in Arkansas. And there are going to be times when you have to raise the plastic up on both sides of the hoop house to let air flow through there. You might even have to stick a fan out there, because especially in this state, in the south, in the summertime, it gets a lot warmer than up north. But it's just the way it is. We have to live with it. So the question was, you know, how do I raise the plastic up and all that jazz? Some people put, you know, screen type netting across the bottom, and then they put the plastic down over the top, and then when they lift the plastic up, when it gets too hot, you know, the air flows through the netting, keeps the bugs out, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to do that right now, since this is just a test hoop house the first year. If it doesn't work out, I won't do it again. If it does work out, we'll make modifications next year. Now the question was, how do I hold the plastic up? I just want it to where I can lift the plastic up and hold it right there. Maybe lift it up there, lift it up here, and then how do you hold it up? Well, that's for these little giant Irwin, I don't know what they call them. They're just, I call them clothespins. Let's see if they're a clamp. Let's see what the official name of them is. They're 2-inch metal spring clamps. Yeah, they're 2-inch metal spring clamps. A couple bucks a piece. And all you got to do is I will be lifting the plastic up here, and I'll be lifting the plastic up on that one down there next to the end. And all you have to do is put this clamp on here. I saw this on YouTube. I thought it was the coolest idea. The plastic will just come down and sit right there on top of that, and it'll stay up. And it's quick and easy. You're on, you're off. And then when you're all done, all you got to really do is just move it to the right like that, or to the left, and the plastic falls on down. Yeah, there'll be some bugs that'll get in there. That's no problem, you know, no problem. This is just a test hoop house. I've got bug spray, stuff like that. We'll take care of all that stuff. But quick and easy, cheap. Well, the old hash browns are looking pretty good. Our grandson Ethan shredded, you know, regular potatoes and made them. And then, of course, I put all the shredded potatoes in a ricer and squeezed all the juice out of it. Added some egg whites, salt and pepper, and a little bit of parsley, and just kind of mixed it all together. And now we've got the patties just sitting here frying up. The egg white helps hold it together, and it makes it taste better too when it's all over. Well, this is step one. We've still got pancakes and bacon to go. Things are looking good. Looking good. We're down to the, we're doing the bacon. Just about done with the bacon, and it will be pancakes next. Well, the daughter is cooking some nice looking pancakes. They better taste good.
Here I am a bedhead.
You're a bedhead, and you don't want me to film you?
No.
No.
At least let me get in the makeup chair.
Get in the makeup chair. It ain't gonna help, Shannon.
No.
And our hash browns are just about ready to come off the grill. Boy, the old hash browns look really good. You know, using that egg white to hold it together during the entire time they're frying, man, it smells good too. I put a little parsley in it, a little salt and pepper, and just a touch of garlic. And I'll tell you what, it's fabulous. Well, that's it. The grill is empty. Let's eat. Well, here it is. Everybody chowing down. Where's your bedhead, honey?
I told you that.
Ethan, what do you think? Ethan's one of the official taste testers around here too. What do you think?
Tastes good.
Tastes good. Scholarship boy. All right. I'm glad. I haven't even dug into mine except to taste the hash browns. They taste pretty good. They needed a little bit of extra salt though. Well, my old trusty buddy Ethan again is hard at it. We are cutting the slats in half right now, which will go on the end of the raised beds, and we're just about done. We only have like 1 or 2 more set of slats to do, and then we're going to take a break, right? Mm-hmm. All right, this is what we're doing. We took the 11 1/4 inch pieces of 2x4 that I got for free, and I cut them up, made as many as I could, and then we took the 2 fence slats and just screwed them into it, okay? So there's one side of the raised bed. Now the total cost for each of these raised beds, all I had to pay for was the two slats, and I got them for like $1.80 a piece. So, you know, it cost about I think it was like, I don't know, $12 maybe, $11 to do it all, to buy the whole thing, which is very, very cheap. And of course you got the screws and you got the black mat that has to go down, but to actually make the raised beds, this is really good stuff. And if it starts to go bad, all you got to do is unscrew the screws and put another one in. Ethan's putting the finishing touches on this little thing, screwing down the last board on the end. We just butted them up against there and screwed them into those 2x4 blocks. That's all there is to it. We now have a 3x6 raised bed, total price about $12. Can't beat it. Now if you can find free wood, it won't cost you anything. Okay, there's the first one in place. We're going to have 6 of these, 3 on each side. And the other 3 will run down here. There'll be a space in the middle. That's where the potatoes go, and anything else that wifey might want to grow. Well, you only got 5 to go. Let's get them in. Well, there we are. All of them built and in place temporarily. We'll have to raise them up, like I said, to put the black stuff underneath them to prevent the weeds from coming through. Anyway, that's the hardest part of the operation, you know, all the manual labor to put those together. But the rest from here on out is pretty easy, except for, you know, shoveling some compost and stuff like that. Anyway, it was a piece of cake, nothing to it. By the way, wifey says it looks like I'm building a graveyard out here. Well, the last thing we have here that I picked up at Lowe's the other day are these 3.8 plastic 3.8 gallon plastic containers, and I liked them because they already had holes in the bottom. I didn't have to do any drilling, you know. And this is what we're going to be growing our potatoes in. I picked up 10 of them. I was going to get a dozen, but I said, let's not go crazy, you know. I'll get 10, and if the potatoes work out next year, I'll pick up another 10 if it all works out in the hoop house. You know, everything like I said is experimental. Anyway, this coming week we'll be searching around for some organic compost somewhere. I think I know where I can go. I think there's a nursery in town. I think I might have mentioned that. And we're going to see what we can do on that. I need to pick up some fertilizer and some fish meal, a bunch of other things. I've been taking a lot of notes from the way people have been growing their vegetables in and out of hoop houses. So we'll go ahead and call this one quits right here. And until next time, this is John.